everything looks good with Dipset now, but just a few years ago, Dipset was in turmoil, and right now they're coming together for the money. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Hit that bell, hit that subscribe button. MREC, what's good, man?
Salute, JT. I'm good. How you?
I'm great, man. So, Dipset, one of the strongest groups to come out of New York City.
Yes, sir.
But around when Jim Jones got popping, we saw some turmoil happening, right?
Ballin'!
Because Mace made it clear in his latest interview, this was because he was jealous, right?
Yep.
So, really, around 2007, this is when the 50 Cent beef happened, or 06? It happened around 06, and 05, 06, and then Camron got lost and went to Orlando, right?
Yep.
So, actually, Ballin' popped off around 05, 06. That's what happened. So, then we saw Jim Jones.
But also, the True Life situation had popped off during that time that Cam went to Orlando.
Yeah.
And I guess his mom got sick. But,
Yes.
True Life,
So
putting hands on him.
So what happened was Camron went down south. Then Juelz and Jim Jones, we saw them get real close for like 08 and on. And then Camron, when he started coming back, he started dissing Juelz. Now, I was around Dipset around this time, so I can vouch for most of the stuff. Was Juelz on Scissor? Everyone knows Juelz was on Scissor around the time. He's even admitted to it in his interviews, But the way Camron paints it. Now, let's get into first what did Camron say? Juelz's gripe with Camron was that he was signed to Camron. He was being held up in his contract, and Camron was blocking tons of his collabs. Camron since refuted that. But, and this is why he said this is why he's out. Juelz dropped his last album in 05, 06, around that time. And then you never heard from him again. Maybe it was 04. I'm not sure. Maybe it was 05. It was somewhere.
Nah, I think it was like 05, 06.
It was 05, 06, yeah. And then we never heard another album from him. He dropped some mixtapes, but then he got kind of lost. Camron went at him in this around 2008, around 2009. He basically said,
It's January, right? When was the car show?
That was back in
June.
Yeah.
So it's going on about 8, 9 months, right? You've been out the contract. What's going on? Who's holding them up now? You understand what I'm saying? What's holding you up now? If somebody's holding you up, you still haven't put out no singles, still haven't scheduled an album date. But the original story was...
Now that's true because, Juelz was around in studio, and what was he working on around that time? He was working on Skull Gang, remember?
Mm-hmm.
He was pushing Skull Gang. He put his career in the back when he had dropped an album in 3 years at this point, 2009. That's like death for an artist, You can't go that long. So,
facts.
And he was sipping scissor. He had a lot of these Hawaiian punches around. I knew something was in him because every time he was sipping them. And don't get this wrong. We're not hating on Juelz. I want Juelz to win. But around this time, I was getting spooked because he kept drinking that Hawaiian punch and going like that at the end. I knew something was in it because I had seen, I had been around Wayne around that time. I seen him do it. But Wayne could hold that shit better. I don't know why. He just, it's
so
like
Lil
anything.
Wayne had a higher tolerance for the lean than Juelz did.
And I don't think he went as hard with it. I think he went lighter on it, just to get kind of the feeling. He didn't get the feeling where he didn't go so... I don't think he went so hard with the lean where he was, passing out. I think he would do it little by little. You always saw Wayne with a cup, but he wasn't drinking the whole fucking cup on, right on camera. He probably sipped it throughout the day, right? That's what it seems like.
Probably, sure.
There's no way Wayne pumped out that much stuff on lean, on heavy usage lean, okay? Same with Future. I think he sips it slowly throughout the day. And some other guys go hard with the shit and they pass out and their career goes down the fucking tube. So Camron spoke on this. He said,
Juelz started drinking scissor and Robitussin. You know what I'm saying? He got hooked on it, addicted to it. You go to his studio, he has a Hawaiian, like 100 Hawaiian punches already pre-mixed with this stuff in it. You know what I'm saying?
That was crazy. He did have tons of Hawaiian punches lined up full of this shit. It was crazy. I'm so glad I never said, hey, can I get some Hawaiian punch? Because I love Hawaiian punch. I knew I shouldn't fuck with that Hawaiian punch, though.
So I kind of like stopped speaking to him. Like, yo, we already smoked mad weed. We don't need to be on road with touching. I called his mother about it. I called his closest friends about it. They knew about it. They was like, Nick Cam, it's not that bad. It isn't like he's overdoing it. And I'm like, yo, that's like saying he just smoked a little bit of crack, you know?
Damn.
Like, first of all, was Camron wrong for this? The only reason...
I mean, he acted like he had a concern for Juelz, because Juelz was like, of course, his artist, but also like a little brother. So I guess he's looking at it like, you shouldn't be indulging in that so hard.
I think that he called him out publicly on this is because it was the only way to get through to him. You know, like maybe other people, maybe the fans can hold you accountable because I can't. And around this time, it was weird because I remember, like, I was there. It wasn't really being spoken about that Camron and Juelz and Jim Jones all had a problem. It was just that, like, Cam was in Jersey, Juelz was in Jersey, and I remember SAS going back and forth saying, like, I'm trying to get them back together, but they just don't want to fuck with each other right now. You know, like, shit was just in turmoil then. Jim Jones was winning, so, you know, he could only do so much, you know, and, you know, Juelz fired back when he heard that interview, and, you know, he just spoke on the scissor, you know.
I mean, I was drinking scissor, you dig what I'm saying? But that at the end of the day had nothing to do with it. I think at the end of the day, you know, Cam is kind of like looking for a way to just answer these questions.
Now, he's blaming it on Camron coming out with an album.
That's where he knows how. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, me and Cam been together for 5 years as far as, you know, the relationship we had. So for him to tell y'all the reason he stopped speaking to me for drinking scissor, that's like Baby saying I don't mess with Wayne no more because he was drinking scissor.
Now, I don't think that's the case because down south, I think all of them guys were on something on Cash Money. Remember?
Yeah, it was on like dope.
And Baby liked it like that because then you don't ask questions about money till later.
Got them drugged up, huh?
It's true though. I mean, I don't think he got them drugged up, but it's a great way to like pacify somebody, you know.
Yes, sir.
So at the same time, because, you know, what I do on my own time is my own time, and I was never get into, you know what I mean, stomach situation. You know what I mean, he was doing Percocet. You dig what I'm saying? So it's not for me to sit here and say.
So Juelz fired back and said, "Well, you want Percocets, you know." Now he said he had a stomach issue those years. So, and I remember Shorty Low was on Percocets because he had a stomach issue. So that's actually prescribed by the doctor. You know, the doctor will give you these things.
You Percocet, I stopped talking to Cam because you was, you know what I'm saying? But he'll probably sit here and tell you I was doing it because of my stomach. They got to look in the mirror at the end of the day, man. I don't have my album coming out right now. It's surprising to me that, you know, somebody that has an album coming out just decides to come out and give everybody these interviews now.
Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this, okay? Basically, Dipset, this damage was done. Remember Jim Jones? We can't forget that. That was recent, and that was going on back then. Dipset is damaged for life. It's never going to be the same. And it's just they're going to come together for money opportunities, and I don't blame them. You should be coming together for money opportunities.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I think Juelz lost his mojo when he got into this whole thing with he got lost for a while, and then his studio got raided and everything. I think he still feels like he doesn't have his mojo back. He was supposed to drop an album this year. He didn't drop it. And we were rooting for him a year ago, Rec. Just a year ago, he started dropping music. We just started dropping music. I'm still rooting for him. I'm a little disappointed.
I'm definitely rooting for him.
A little disappointed we don't have an album. He was promising all these things that never happened. Now, he did get some work done this year. And it's going to take more than a few songs to come back, man. It's going to take... you got to stay on their necks every month, something big, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
facts.
I think Juelz might be in the legacy category at this point, unless he can come back with some new hot shit.
Man, you just need a hit record. That's it. A certified hit.
Hopefully he gets one, man. I'm rooting for him. But Dipset,
I'm rooting for him.
Dipset will never be the same though because of these public beefs. You can never go back to the normal. I think that's a great narrative on this one.
Yeah.
So, anyways, guys,
Yes, sir.
what do you guys think? Get in the comments. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Me and Rec both appreciate you. Make sure you hit that bell. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We got a lot more loops coming to the rest of the day. We'll check you guys a little later. Peace.
Deuces.